Hey guys, welcome to the sermon preview, looking at our last Sunday of the year, going through our Advent series, looking at Jesus as the light, talking in John 8:12 this Sunday. So Nick, tell us a little bit more about what we're doing.
Yeah. So really excited about this. So we're looking at John 8, starting in verse 12, all the way through verse 19. And Jesus makes a really impactful statement in this passage. It's one of the I am statements. There's actually 7 of these in the book of John, the Gospel of John. Do you know any of the other ones off the top of your head?
I am the bread of life, I think is the first one. And then we're talking about the second one, I believe, this passage.
Yep. So there's 7 of them. Lance said, I'm the bread of life. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. I'm the gate. I'm the shepherd. And then today, I am the light of the world. And so this is the one that we're focusing on with our theme of this series of Jesus as the light of the world. This really fits that passage. And so that series, this passage isn't necessarily maybe traditional for an Advent Christmas series passage, but it fits so well within our series that this is kind of our concluding passage for that. So Jesus starts off with, I am the light of the world. So Lance, what is the significance of when Jesus says, I am?
That's just Jesus correlating back that he's God or one with God.
Yeah. So it's him saying, I am God. Where does I am come from?
Back in Exodus is when the first time we saw, that being spoke of like, I am God.
Yeah, with Moses, when Moses calls out to God, when God's calling him to go to Egypt, Moses is like, well, who do I say sent me? And God says, I am who I am. And so, like Lance said, Jesus making that connection of who he is back to the Old Testament and his deity and who he is as God. So he says, I am the light of the world. And then the next verse says, whoever follows me will not walk in darkness. So Lance, some people might not know this, but you spent some time at Fair Play Camp, which is a wilderness camp, and so you spend a lot of time outdoors. Tell us a little bit about a time when you were when a light was guiding the way and you had to follow that light.
Yeah, so I mean, anytime at night it's pitch black, you're in the mountains, so you can't see anything. And so you have your little kerosene lantern, and that really is your light. So if that lantern got, knocked to the ground and there was no light, it was pitch black. So you really had to follow that lantern and that light if you wanted to stay on the path.
Yeah, and if you lost track of the light, you were lost, probably, right? I mean, it's, like you said, pitch dark out there. Did you ever run out of kerosene?
We didn't. We did a really good job of, that was part of one of our chores to do in the morning, is check those lanterns. And always having a headlamp in your back pocket was definitely a needed...
just in case.
Yep.
Just in case. Yeah, very good, very good. So we have this idea of Jesus leading us through the darkness, illuminating along the way. And if we keep our eyes on him, he lights our path. Which is not unlike what God did for the Israelites when they were coming, through the wilderness out of slavery in Egypt in the pillar of fire. Right at night, they followed this pillar of fire, and so there's this strong correlation between the Israelites in the Exodus and what Jesus is talking about here. And so there's a lot more in this passage, but for the sake of our preview today, it's kind of what I want to focus on is just these couple of verses up front of Jesus saying, I'm the light of the world, and whoever follows me will not walk in darkness. And so kind of the question that this brings up is, what is the proper response to Jesus saying, I am the light of the world? And the proper response as a follower or as a Christian is to follow, right? So hearing Jesus say, I am the light of the world isn't just oh, great, now I know that, but it's a kind of a call to action of following him. So I want you to be thinking about that as you look at this passage. Again, John chapter 8, verses 12 through 19, and think about how has or what has been your response to knowing that Jesus says, "I am the light of the world," and everything that brings into? And that passage, there's a lot more depth to it than what we hit today. But what has been your response to Jesus saying, "I am the light of the world"? So I'm excited for Sunday. I hope you are as well. It's going to be the last Sunday of the year before we jump into 2024. Somehow this year is coming to an end. I'm not sure how, but it is. And so looking forward to it. We'll see you then. Take care.